tournament just yet. They are now in the lower bracket facing the loser of either Big Academy or Winstrike later on in the tournament. We're expecting...
Do you actually, you've asked me, are you also banking on Winstrike winning this?
Yeah, just a little bit.
You don't sound too convinced.
No, I'm not too convinced. Like, the odds are in their favor. They are
May the odds
aim
be ever
heavy,
in your favor.
a better team. Looking at this map, they should win it. But then again, Big Academy is a very smart team, so they can make it work as well. Like, Big Academy is my oddball in this group. They can do anything or really disappoint. It can go either way. Flip a coin. We'll see what it is.
Is it because we are currently working with Germans that you're also afraid that if you give Big Academy, if you don't give them enough credits, that they'll get angry at us?
No.
They'll cut the
they're
microphone
nice guys
off.
here, so I'm feeling safe as we do see an execute coming towards the A side from Winstrike. Smokes going towards the stairs area. Flashbang coming in. It's going to be Hades to be dinked out, and he will fall back in towards CT. Biding his time, waiting for Lecky to come in, but there's another player trying to support him. He'll be flashed out. It's going to be Lecky to reload his Glock candy apple close by, and it's quite scary because, of course, the players are close. He's still standing by. Will he be peaked anytime soon? Yes, he will. Good kill coming on towards 80. Second one on to Marvin as well. It's going to be Edwin to fall, and ooh, this is going to be painful for Big Academy, losing so many players quite early on. Spanex will now also fall, only Grimbo alive, and well, he's done for first round, going in favor of the T side, and there was a clean execute coming on towards the A side.
Winstrike wins the round, and mostly thanks to, well, Lucky, I dare say, who really just pulled it together there, and who showed that he was a key player with the triple kill, pushing quite aggressively also into the CT position, or well, not pushing per se, but holding a pretty aggressive and strong position. And with that, booking a very nice result, a very nice start of the round, and, well, the map, of course, and even the match, I dare say, seeing as this is, of course, the first map that we are seeing. The lovely, lovely Mirage.
Oh, Panic's actually dying to a Molotov very early on. That's painful, to say the least. Losing a little bit of their value, or actually quite a bit of their value, looking at this force buy. But it's going to be Winstrike still trying to hold ball, going towards his smoke. It's Grison with the first frag. Hades will get 2 in return, but will be traded out by Nickelback. And that means we're now in a 3-on-2 situation. Bomb will be planted relatively soon. Just a default plan, nothing too crazy. And, well, that means that Big Academy, without a defuse kit, will have to try to deal some damage, but will they be able to?
That's the question. We'll see. I don't believe so, to be quite honest. I think Lecky might actually get an easy frag, although it doesn't quite look like it. For a moment, I believed in the smoke spray, but nothing so far. The bomb is ticking further. Winstrike also starting, by the way, well, being on the T side now. And you said that they might have actually started on the T side had they won the knife.
Yeah, well, I think it's smart.
No,
it's playing into your own strengths.
Yeah, I do agree, and I would also say that a T side kind of lies better for a team like Winstrike. It kind of suits the aggressiveness, I suppose you could say, of a CIS team. Definitely also a team where you expect it from a bit more.
Well, one thing which is on which we do see with Big Academy, Process currently not in the lineup. One of their stable players actually not in the server, so MVN is in there. Let's just call him Marvin.
Sure.
I think that's the, like, MVN is very hard to
But is that his actual name, or is that just something you thought up?
It's the best thing I could come up with.
Just wild. You absolute madman.
It's the freedom of speech that I'm trying to use here, as we do see Elian trying to bring out that USB saving for that possible AWP later on. Of course, playing against an eco of Big Academy at this moment in time, but they have saved some of their stuff from the previous round. Scout as well on towards Panic, something to work with. And hopefully for them, they will actually gain some kills, as in the previous round it was quite painful.
Indeed, but we'll see if, well, they can make the pain go away in this third round, I suppose, although I don't quite see it happening. Oh, it does start off well. Good tag indeed there by Panics. At least Alien tagged a little bit, 31 HP left. He's still holding that angle, but at the end, nothing really coming from it. Bonding gets the frag. Does not, or well, does try and go for the second. Gets it eventually, but the third might not be in there. Lackey, in the meantime, is available, though, and can actually get the frag on Anween.
Yeah, we do see a 2-on-5, at least some damage being dealt to the players of Winstrike, yet they can't finish off a player. Meaning that the economy of Winstrike seems to be growing by the minute, or at least the round, as the rounds aren't really taking that long. It's going to be Grimbob taking that Deagle in armor, possibly just saving it as well. The problem is his armor has taken a little bit of damage, so it's not a very cheap upgrade. At least it's something to work with. It's something you can take with you, hoping to at least do some more damage in the rounds to come. And of course he'll try to buy that M4 with it and finally get a first round in for Big Academy, now being 0-3 behind after losing that initial pistol round.
Yeah, Winstrike, as we've both agreed upon, starting on, well, the side that kind of favors them, the aggressiveness, really leaning close with them. And with that now getting their third round in, perhaps, you never know, quite the streak that could start to build up here. And we said it earlier, of course, if there is this sort of streak that gets started, if it's Winstrike that builds up a couple of rounds now and manages to sort of demoralize Big Academy, you could say, well, you know, it could really be quite a good situation for them. It could be a good case, and it could mean that Big Academy, before you know it, is seriously behind.
We just got some info.
I know, I just saw it as
Marvin
well.
Is his real name, so it's all working out in the end. I'm just really good with names, apparently.
I shouldn't doubt you. I shouldn't doubt you.
Well, my guessing game is 10 out of 10, as we do see Panic standing by. But the AWP has bought a big weapon for this round. Misses the first shot, however. Meaning we're still in a 5-on-5 situation. Nickelback slightly tagged up by the Incendiary. But interesting to note is that he's bringing that Mac-10. Of course, there's a lot of utility to work with, but he will be the first player to possibly chime in towards the side, hoping to at least deal some damage, possibly get a kill, but easily to be refragged after. Winstrike biding their time this moment in time, hoping to at least take a mistake from the side of Big Academy as Edwin will go down. It will be the first frag. Oh, Kristen almost going down, but not a commit from the player on the white fan. Grimbo will stand by, will try to get a frag in, but Nickelback coming in with that Mac-10. Of course, not everyone has that armor. Will get a first kill. Ooh, Bombik to fall after. Marvin will be refragged. It's a 4-on-2, and now we see the plan to come in from Winstrike as well. And once more, they seem in a very favorable position. Lecky in the flank will take down the Arbor of Panics. And, well, it's easy to say. 4-0 right now for Winstrike, as Hades will be saving his M4 and armor. But unfortunately, no utility, and of course, no defuse kit either.
Nope. Something that, well, he'll just have to kind of make do with. But Winstrike also going out for the hunt. Obviously, it's quite understandable. They don't want to take the risk, and there we go. Alien even just eliminates him cold-heartedly, I almost would say. 4 people survive on the Winstrike side, so the economy damage for them is not really that bad. You can see it also, their reserves are building up quite a bit. And with that, Winstrike now kind of has the opportunity to just continue their streak. They don't have to be too worried. They can just calmly keep getting frags, keep getting rounds, get the plants in there, and make sure that Big Academy stays put down.
Momentum is everything, and currently Winstrike has a lot of it, as we do see a lot of money on their favor as well. Of course, there's a pistol armor coming out from Big Academy, having a decent loss bonus, but not enough to actually buy M4s again. It's going to be Panics saving up a little bit more than the rest of his team, banking on that AWP for the coming round, hoping to grant them an opening kill or more than that. As we do see some flash to come out, Marvin standing by, gets a decent tag, but not a kill. Is going to be Kristen once more for the opening kill. Lecky will get a kill as well as Hades, the only player to trade himself out for a Big Academy. Seeing once more a round slipping through their fingers, and it's all going to, well, smithereens for Big Academy right now. And
remember, keep it family friendly.
Yeah, I'm a little bit sad for him. It's so unfortunate. Like this round as well, they had decent positions, but they're going for fights which they know they're not likely to win. They will get a kill for Kimbo and their Deagle as well, but still, it's just going the way of Winstrike. And with Alien just getting another kill, it's a 1-on-2, as Edwin will get a frag. But will he actually win this round? I don't think he will have the time, or at least the room to work with, as Nickelback gets another kill. It's going to be 5-0 for Winstrike.
And Winstrike continue comfortably on their streak that they've started. You can already see the reserves seriously starting to build up now. Well, amounts they're getting over the 10,000s even. It's almost absurd to see, really. You know, you wouldn't expect it this early in the round, but Winstrike is just doing so well. They are also pulling these rounds off without losing anything. You know, they are just consistently, well, getting the frags, getting kills, not allowing really Big Academy to put a word in edgeways, so to say, put anything in front of them. With that, reserves are staying good, and Winstrike is just on a comfortable streak.
Penix pushing up with the AWP. If he misses a shot, he will be done for, but he does take down Lecky. It's the first time actually Big Academy has an opening kill. It's aggression I was talking about earlier before this matchup, and finally they're bringing it in. At least showing that they're not afraid to push, even though they are on a deficit. Problem is that Penix will now be smoked off from the window area, losing a lot of control towards mid. But now he will actually make a very good decision on his rotate, going towards CT, having a free man setup right here to counter off the push coming in from Winstrike. A lot of those players will be coming from the palace area, but you still have Hades here together with one of his mates at the ramp area.
And it could be Hades that makes things difficult from the close angle that he's peeking from. Has thrown that smoke on ramp to delay things, and yep, here he is with an aggressive peek, still quite a close angle. Result being that Bondik gets taken out, and with that, a 3v5 situation now where it's still, oh well, it starts to look more and more negative for Winstrike by the second. Might be a rotation coming in now, but the bomb is actually just going towards ramp by the looks of things. Smoke, I believe that is being thrown out now. And a smoking off connector. With that, Marvin here stays in sandwich.
Yes,
I was almost going to call.
I like to play there.
I was almost going to call it Tetris, but Tetris is in the other.
Tetris is just a little bit further to the
yeah,
left. As,
but I think of a Tetris piece, you know, because it would fit in there quite well. But
of course, you could actually get a throwaway gun into the stairs, and the Tetris area would be denied as the time has run out. Big Academy wins their first round. It's going to be 1-5, but still 5 rounds for Winstrike. That's a very decent streak. And they have more than enough economy to work with to at least get another buy-in for this round, possibly even a next, due to, of course, that save coming in. Didn't take a necessary risk, and this is a very methodical and smart play so far, and I'm hoping they will bring that to the table in all of the maps that we will see from them so far.
And who knows how many of them we are going to see, of course. The question you could ask, or well, the theory that you could bring up is that Winstrike now off to a very good start. Perhaps a temporary setback now that Big Academy gets a round or two in. But before you know it, they might have rushed through Mirage. Of course, the risk is there that Nuke might line a lot better.
Penix was flashed, the player moved by, and he never reacted in time. Lecky now with a revenge for what actually happened in the previous round. So Winstrike is learning from their mistakes.
Who knows? It is a good thing to see happening, especially in real time. You know, that's always the best situation to have happen. If you can only learn from your mistakes one tournament later, it might be too late, too little. There is a sort of refrag coming in there now from Crimbo, who's holding down the B-bomb site over here. Flash gets thrown in now, but doesn't really affect that much. Crimbo's still there. Second flash is good, and he misses an important shot. Nickelback actually gets the refrag, and Lackey gets a lovely headshot on Anween. And with that, they now have the opportunity to get this B-bomb site completely under control. Bomb planted on the default spot. And now it's a case of holding it down from Winstrike.
Yeah, double AWP currently being picked up as Lackey has taken a lot of damage, trying to play those long angles, but will most likely swap over towards the AK later on. And indeed he will, just throwing away that AWP, so in case Big Academy is still close, they couldn't recover it if they wanted to. But Big has chosen rather, to go for the save very early on, and knows that, well, right now Winstrike will get that 6th round in. And they're getting really, really close to already getting more of the rounds from the first round than Big Academy could even get. And Big Academy, as they won the knife, they are starting on their favorite side. It's so far not working out, and their economy, it's good enough to buy, but is it good enough to win as well? Because, well, those M4s are coming in. I would expect an AWP again for Penix. But do they have the utility to bring to the table what it takes to at least get a 2nd round in, because Winstrike so far is just walking away with this map. And once more, they will just bring a lot of utility, possibly go a little bit more aggressive this time around, put pressure on towards their opponents.
I guess that pressure is part of what makes it so good. If Winstrike keeps applying pressure to Big Academy now, it causes them to not really stand much of a chance, although so far it starts off well. Hades gets the first frag. 4v5 situation turns it into... And delay is definitely there. Smokes are good. Panic in the meantime also manages to take out Lackey. So now we're in a 5v3 situation. Comfortable, and oh dear, look at that. Marvin takes out Nickelback. He says, here's your Nickelback. And we'll see, with only 2 man remaining and 4 on the Big Academy side, Winstrike is probably going to have to call this a loss.
Yeah, it's going to be very unfortunate for Winstrike so far. As you do see Incendiary going towards Tetris, it's going to be Grison easily taken care of, leaving only Lion alive in at AWP. Well, a save would be decent. Of course, their loss bonus is minuscule, and the value of the AWP is way more than actually just at 1450 or 1400 that they will get right now. And the chances are that he might actually survive, because the economy on the side of Big Academy is incredibly low. So the chances of them trying to go for that hunt are relatively low. If they would, it's an enormous risk. I wouldn't do it personally.
Hashtag not worth.
Indeed. Put it on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's the only thing you need to do. Marvin, also known as Process, by the way, is now tossing around some weapons, trying to recover what he can to be a little bit on the better side. Almost everyone on the rifle part of Big Academy bringing those AKs to the table, and Windy only on the M4, so he's a little bit of the oddball there, but possibly he can still find one in due time and upgrade to make it a little bit easier to get those kills in later on.
And with that, Big Academy wins the round. Timer has run down. Big Academy gets their second round so far. Still, though, 4 rounds behind Winstrike, and they still have quite a fight to fight, so to speak. Winstrike, economy-wise, they should be good. They will be able to buy what their hearts desire, partially also thanks to the AWP save from Alien. And with that, now we'll have to see what Winstrike makes out of this round. Is it going to be Big Academy that now kind of continue their win if they're going to build up a little streak? Or is Winstrike going to turn things around again and only really grant Big Academy 1 or 2 rounds every now and then, but not much more?
Panakus once more on fire, will lose 25 of his HP. Luckily still staying alive. SG actually being picked up by Lackey, something we haven't seen all too often in recent times. As anyone is trying to jump past, if he does jump a little bit too far, I believe the AWP of Lion is holding a angle towards him. But the moment that he actually holds a more aggressive angle, the player will fall back, and it's going to be Marvin with an Incendiary to come in. And the Lion, being tagged, still moves up a little bit more aggressive, so that's interesting to see. And will it result into a frag as well, or will it actually mean his own demise? Angle was good, but he just moves off at the wrong time.
And timing is everything. Krieg here, by the way, in the hands of Lackey. Interesting to still see sometimes. There was a period where that Krieg was all everybody ever used, but not anymore. It's been, well, nerfed.
It's better
again,
this way.
Yeah, you were in favor of the Krieg nerf.
I'm a purist. I like the AK more.
Yeah,
So,
I understand.
Like, the scopes are for different games. Meanwhile, we see Lackey moving up. There is a player that used to play here in the ladder area. Let's actually move towards the bricks of Window. Moves back. It's going to be Grimbo with a kill on towards Lackey. Now we see an execute going towards the B side. The push from short would have been instrumental, as there is a player on side. And with a frag will be traded out, but still at bench is Marvin. He will get one, but will be traded after. It's going to be Grison in that 2v3, trying to go for plant uncontested at this moment in time. But look at the back. There will be a player. It's Grimbo moving in, and nobody there to contest it. It will be a lively AWP moving up and will fall soon, as the nade will come in as well on towards Chris, and spray down as well from Grimbo. And as a good triple kill, and it will be a third round as well for Big Academy, coming in relatively soon after they pick up every weapon they want.
You noticed there with how the timing was, the execute was hurried, it was hastily done because they realized, oh dear, we just lost one of our team members, now we just have to do something. And whilst the frags to and fro were pretty good, it was the flank there in the end that really sealed the deal and gave the round win to Big Academy. With that, the disadvantage that they're at is going to grow a little slimmer, and who knows, if they continue, keep it up like this, Big Academy can gradually, slowly but surely build stuff up, start to work towards an equalizer, and who knows, maybe actually finish off this first half on their preferred side with a somewhat better result than the way things are looking right now.
And we do see, of course, a goodbye from Winstrike. They still have the AWP, they still have a lot of utility, despite it being used relatively early on. It's Nickelback now going to leave Crash. It will spot a player, but Hades with a double kill. Marvin not even necessary to come in until he dies. It is going to be a good refrag. One being dropped on top of the balcony, one player to come in from mid, and the other one still at ramp. But what can they do in this round? It's already a 2-on-4 with well, no time at all. Having passed, it's Grimbo getting a kill and Panic's finishing things off. It's going to be Big Academy streaking rounds together, something they didn't do before, but now they're making it work and closing in on towards that Winstrike score.
It is so important, you know, to actually build up that streak of your own, kind of reverse the morale as well, because obviously in the case of Big Academy, how things started off, they were on a 0-5 scoreline. They weren't really doing very well at all, and that has to be pretty well, demoralizing, I dare say. Never fun to really see your opponent stomping you round after round, and it doesn't help with the tilt factor.
See the AWP from Panic just holding the angle, can't get the kill just there, as there will not be a player aggressively peeking. The Lions still standing by with the AWP, however, hoping that a player would peek in connector, but at this moment in time, no one just going for a risky play from Big Academy, just holding their angles, holding their own, and Grimbo once more now in the ladder area, hoping to once more also take a player off guard. And with Lackey actually just on a deagle, he might actually be a nice target, a juicy target to be for that double frag, as Nickelback is leading the charge with the AK, soon to come in towards the angle of Grimbo, who's playing passively, but after the flash he might actually peek in a little bit more aggressive. Oh, the jump came out, but it didn't spot a player. It's an easy kill for Grimbo, smokes it off as well. His short control still in the hands of Big Academy, playing it to perfection.
And perhaps playing it to perfection is what is required here from Big Academy, although so far they're doing pretty well. They've really ramped up their pace, so to speak, and they are making good progress. We'll see, though, if their progress can actually start to bring them closer and closer to an equalize, because so far in this 4v5 situation, it's not really that dramatic yet. There are still plenty of opportunities here, but it's going to depend on this A-site push, where we do have Hades standing at the ready for someone hopping from Palace, or well, balcony more specifically. Now he spots the first player, but he doesn't actually get the frag. It is Marvin who has to try and connect the dots, so to speak. Gets a double kill, but Bondik does put a bit of a stop to things. The problem being that Bondik only has 1 HP left, or that his teammate only had 1 HP left, and now Bondik is the last man standing with no time left and the bomb not planted. And as such, Big Academy wins the round.
Bondik is still alive with the AWP, taking that value together with him towards this next round. But look at the score. There's only one more to spread out this series. If Big Academy wins this one, which, well, is relatively likely looking at the economy situation from Winstrike, they will equalize the score, bring it back to a 6-6, and possibly even then take the lead straight after. Bondik will have that AK. It's going to be a force buy from Winstrike, or at least a little bit of a split force by Ilian, of course, getting that AWP from his teammate, not having to invest all that much, but he could have at least bought a Galil for one of his Deagle-bearing mates.
Oh, don't be silly now. Why would you buy things for your teammates? That's crazy. Look, he's getting the frags, and that's all he needs, it seems, although Grimbo does actually get an immediate refrag onto him. Thinks, okay, well, nice that you got your first frag, but I'm going to deny the rest of that now. In the meantime, Marvin actually manages to frag Bondik. Panic continues, gets the kill on Krisen as well, but Nickelback is throwing around those coins and saying, I'm getting the frags. Problem is that Grimbo puts a stop to it and ends up taking him out. Makes it a 6v6 now. 6 rounds on both sides, and slowly but surely, Big Academy has actually managed to recover the disadvantage that they had, being on equal footing now with Winstrike. And the question is, how is the rest of this first half going to play out? Is it going to be Winstrike that actually do a sort of turnaround now, leave the streak for what it is, and finish off Big Academy in the rest of these rounds? Or is Big Academy going to continue nicely on their own little streak that they have going?
It's going to be Panics moving up with the AWP in the underpass position. Will be flashed out, but no real contest coming in real quick. He just gets to peek straight after. Will miss his first shot. Is now a little bit scared. Throws in a smoke. That might actually prompt a spray down, and it's going to be Kristen with a frag. A re-peek would have maybe been a little bit better, but still, It was an attempt made as Lackey would have been there for a flank either way. No real pressure coming in from mid towards the big Academy side as Grimbo is standing by hoping to get a refrag once this smoke dissipates. And so far there are actually targets around the connector area, but it might have been just a second delayed as they have now moving in. But at the boxes on top mid, there's still someone standing by.
And that is dangerous. Now we see the danger potentially coming in. Lackey here comes from Connector, gets tagged just a little bit by the Molly. Problem being that he barely, well, that he actually, never mind. Problem not being that he barely has any HP left because he still has plenty. Alien in the meantime takes out Anhuin, and with that, it's now a 2v4. Hayden in a nasty position does manage to, well, annoy Lackey there a little bit by getting the kill on him. Leaves only Crimbo from CT. He might be able to get a frag or two, but not even that is possible as Bondik takes him out through the smoke, through a piece of the box in his head.
But the important thing is that when Winstrike gets that opening kill, they have a lot of room to work with. And this time around, you saw Panics going down quite early. The AWP being taken down in the underpass position meant that Winstrike had a lot of room to work with, less utility to worry about. And they instantly tried to collapse towards that A side, expecting there to be a weak point. They found it. They lost a player, instantly traded, and the moment they stayed trading, after they already have an opening frag, will be always in their favor. A spray comes in here from Marvin, will get a first kill onto Elian, meaning we now have a 5-on-4. Panics to the follow-up, making up for what he lost in the previous round. As Bondik falls and is now an actual decent position for Big Academy, slowing things down and still having some decent utility to work with.
And we'll see if this decent utility is enough for them, if with that they can actually get a good chance, if they can try to maybe equalize it out again, or if it's going to be Winstrike that actually make this first, well, these last few rounds some important ones, some to spice up their win count. More utility flies out now, and it seems to be slowly an execute towards the B bomb side. With that, Nickelback might get the frag on Anhuin. Crimbo immediately returns the favor, leaving only Prison standing. Oh, he has to get a nade straight to the face. That was painful.
Yeah, that's how you eat a nade, as he now has only 45 HP left to work with. 1v4, 40 seconds on the clock, and yeah, he's just trying to move up, trying to get some kills, and he will at least take down Marvin, but there's still a player very close by, just below him, and the moment he peeks away, Crimbo with the AWP actually will go very aggressive, and equalizes the score once more, 7-7, Big Academy doing some mighty fine work, and possibly they can now finally take the lead in this map. So far they haven't, but maybe they will. We have to also reiterate the fact that this is the map pick of Winstrike. Big Academy was able to choose the side after winning the knife. And, well, with that in mind, a 8-7 scoreline might actually still favor Winstrike on the long run.
That is quite the clever way of looking at it, I suppose. I think we'll see how it all plays out. I still think that Winstrike, although they do have to fight quite a bit for it, are going to get the upper hand here. It starts off not that well in the end because Marvin, together with Panics, all get plenty of frags all around. And Alaki is the last man standing in this last round. He is so alone. 2v1 now. Spots a play in his CT, but yeah,
it's happening. The throw might actually come in as, of course, first Panics will fall. Now it will be Crimbo going down as well, but luckily Anhuin is on the stairs. They didn't expect that, and that means it's now an 8-7. Big Academy with a lead after the first half, if only just one round, but still it is a lead. But that last round could have been an easy throw. The way they played it out, it was so dangerous. Yeah. Panics just peeking there unnecessarily. First we had a fury of frags. We saw Hades just doing some mighty fine work together with Marvin. Unfortunately, they were traded out quite quickly, but still it was a very easy 3-1 situation. No need to peek, he has to go towards the bomb side. They still took the risk, which luckily for them didn't cost them the round.
No, that would be even worse. I can't imagine that you'd actually have to give off your round because of something like that.
So simple.
So simple.
Just holding angles, not like that AWP just peeking on top of stairs. Like if he was at a very long angle, of course you could still try it, but the chances are too big that you will lose it. And with a 2 kills coming in, Winstrike almost had it. Now we have that 8-7 score line. It's going to be Winstrike now on the CT side, possibly bringing it back. We don't know until we will see it, of course. We will hope for them that they will win that pistol once more. If they don't, it's going to be a little bit of an uphill struggle, or even a more uphill struggle than it has been so far. As the clocks are moving towards the B side. Utility in hand as well, so this will be a full-on execute. But look at the rotation already coming in. One player in the market area. Kristen standing by with a smoke. Doesn't have a frag grenade. That would have been great. But he does have the defuse kit if need be. Now he will see the players, will throw down that smoke and will hold the angle. Lion with the first strike onto Hades as well. The push still comes in, but the kills are far to be found for Big Academy. One by one they fall, but it's ended with one frag in return. It is a 4-2-2, still a very good hold from Winstrike right here, and this might actually be the equalizer once more. These clocks will rim some sound in, but well, the kills, they are lacking. 8-8, and Winstrike makes it happen once more in the pistol.
I'd say that the smokes there are also pretty convenient for Winstrike. Kind of played into their ballpark and allowed them to focus on the right points in the map. Equalizer for Winstrike and Big Academy. With that, Winstrike might be starting a lovely little streak that's going straight for the, well, map win, and before you know it, perhaps even the match win. But that all remains to be seen for now. Let's get further on into the rest of this second half, where looking at the weaponry, you'd say that there is a very slight preference towards Winstrike. But who knows, maybe Big Academy has a relatively small chance.
Smokes are coming in towards the window area, taking some mid control for Big Academy, who are now trying to go for a B split. Another push towards the side, which didn't work in pistol, but at least they're getting closer now. Kristen with one frag, gets a second as well, but the MP9 has to go towards the P250, but will lose his life. It's Marvin with a double as more players will fall. Lion with a double kill, only Crimbo alive. Eagle has a frag, but hasn't got a second and a third, which means the lead now once more goes towards the CIS team of Winstrike, doing what they need to do, and so far seeming to be the stronger team in this series.
And for a moment, I actually thought that the investment for that Big Academy had made was going to pay out, but doesn't quite look like it. We'll see what gives.
You're thinking?
Of course, yes, I am thinking. I'm thinking.
Scary.
I know, right? It doesn't happen that often. But quite honestly, I do think that this is going to be the double digits for Winstrike. They've got the right weaponry for it. Got the M4s that they probably desire in the deepest funnels of their heart.
What's your favorite kind of? What do you usually want to have in your hands as Kristen gets the first frag?
Definitely a molly.
A molly, just
nothing like being able to throw a molly or an incendiary to just delay someone.
Spit some fire. You
yes.
know? It's just the way we rule.
That
as
is,
Kristen is currently standing by one of his teammates, just being blocked a little bit as well, being a little bit confused as the nade flies in. So far, no real extra damage to come, but at least they already have that opening frag. Big Academy is trying to rotate towards the A side right now. 2 players standing by from Winstrike, and of course more able to rotate soon enough. But well, so far no real upfront positions, but look at the utility. There's still 2 frag grenades left, and of course also some incendiaries to work with. Yeah, they are also expending some of their utility at this moment in time. It's going to be the players to waterfall out of palace with 1 flashbang to come. It's going to be Bolek, not even faced by the first one. It's going to be him with the first frag. A second one as well, Lion with a follow-up. They know where the last player is. It's going to be Unwin at the Tetris area. Not a single player lost at Winstrike. Flawless round. And he double digits as well with now a 10-8 scoreline.
So would you say now that maybe Winstrike is going to put down another 3-4 rounds, well, streak now, and before you know it, they're going to be back at like 14 or 15, and then suddenly, oh, okay, we don't want to win anymore, you know, it's overrated.
Let's show. No, the big thing is for Winstrike that they now have to win the coming round, because of course Big Academy can buy again. Those AKs will come, and possibly even an AWP, which we do now see is lacking. If they win this, again, the economy will be broken for Big Academy, unless if there will be a bomb plant. It's going to be Nickelback falling back with the Lion once more with the opening kill. Has been instrumental for his team so far. But he will lose his life as Hades moves in, but will be tagged up by a nade. Fuse Kid just rolling by, but it's still a 4-on-4 with damage being dealt by either side.
Yes, but actual damage HP-wise is way more present at Big Academy. Now we'll see, Big Academy does have somewhat mid-control now by use of all the smoke walls that they have put up as well, which is definitely working in their favor. Winstrike now playing it out calmly. Nice little view there of Nickelback for a moment.
I just hope that he sometimes does sing for his team. Just to get that momentum going, at least have the mental vibe,
Perhaps,
you know.
perhaps.
If
But
you have that
why
name,
would you? Why would you want to? Why would you ask anyone to sing Nickelback?
sometimes just to make sure he's just gonna say,
Fair
if
enough.
we win, I won't sing. If we lose, I will punish.
Oh, okay.
It's the only
okay.
way to
That's
go.
a-
A
That's
split
a more
coming in
solid.
soon from Big Academy as the utility will fall. It's going to be Bondik standing by in shadow, hoping to get some support from one of his teammates from the CT area. He's in the fire and flames and will go for a peek, taking a little bit of damage, but still getting the first kill towards Grimbo, trying to turn around. It's going to be Lecky taking down Edwin. One player at the Palace area. It's going to be Marvin falling as well. And then the flanker, Hades from Connector, only able to get one kill, but then losing his life. Winstrike doing well. Now winning this round as well, but of course facing a insurmountable loss bonus almost from their opponents. As I'm curious to see if we will see some crazy buy from Big Academy, or if they will just do some basic stuff, go for that eco, and possibly do the normal thing, the smart thing. And indeed, it will be just that. Tech9 to come in, utility, possibly
those
a quick
mollies,
A
though.
play. Yeah. Throw the mollies everywhere, go for a just normal execute, trying to get that bomb down. If you have that, you have more than enough utility to work with.
But those, yeah, I do believe if they put those mollies down well, they could flush out the Winstrike players and actually get them a chance to get on top of the bomb site. But with that, I do wonder if they are going to be successful. Though it is Big Academy, we've said it earlier, they are better for that utility usage. That's what they, that's what they're known for. But then they do still have to pull it off, because at the end of the day, even the boosted molly. Let's see this.
Insane. It's going to be all the way towards Bondik. He has to fall back as well, but Nickelback with the first frag will spray more damage being dealt. Bondik with the follow-up. It's going to be some great kills coming in, but they will be traded out. Crimbo with a double, but Hades as well with one of his own. The bomb will be planted. It's a 2-on-2, and look at the utility. There's still some to work with, but Lackey is close by. Will they expect this? No! First kill to come in on towards Hades, but Crimbo still close by. They don't know where he is. He's hiding, and so far they're not really paying any attention to his position. Crimbo will get another kill. First one for him, almost a fourth. But it's going to be Carison with the return. Picks up what utility is left, and of course will get that 12th round in for his team. Winstrike once more, very strong, but losing a lot of money in this round.
Yeah, there was good economy damage there, but you noticed it, right? You could see how the idea was there, the mollies were used, etc., and there was quite a lot of chaos on the bomb side. But in the end, Winstrike, well, they did have the upper hand, but it was close. It was only the tiniest bit, and Big Academy could have actually gotten onto the site there. The problem is now that, well, you can kind of see Big Academy struggling now, and they're getting a bit static, so to speak. They're still on somewhat the same round count. They've only managed to get a couple so far, while Winstrike has been winning the majority of the rounds, and with that, I'm afraid that it's getting dangerously close to a potential map point.
We do see a little bit of a stack going towards that B area. Bomb actually not in the hands of any of the players, as there's still someone still holding on around that top mid area. Penix taking a wall bang on towards Chris, and I believe that was a player on site, so that might have been a very lucky shot, but I'm not too sure. Maybe it was somewhere else, which we didn't expect, as we do see a 5-on-4 Winstrike now losing that opening frag, something they haven't done in a long time. As Grimbo is now being flashed out, or at least that was the plan, but he's still standing by, and Winstrike tries to go a little bit more aggressive, but so far they're not really doing anything. Just biding their time, waiting for the inevitable push to come, as it seems to be going towards the B side, as we were expecting early on. Only one player standing by. The rotators way off, as of course one is in CT, the other one is on the A side, and the player in window actually goes towards jungle as well.
It's all going to come down to Lackey here, basically. But the question is he going to be able to hold that? No, not at all. Panics pushes through, and now they will definitely have the bomb plant completely in hands, and hell,
instant save.
I was just going to say, it would be more logical for Winstrike to just save this here. There's no point in trying to actually engage on this.
Not like they don't have that much money.
No.
And the weapons they bring to the table, or at least bring to the next round, hopefully, it's just insane to have with you. You have the AWP, 2 M4s, a little bit of utility, but still also some diffuse kits. And with the money they do have in their pockets and the loss bonus they will get, they can at least drop for the other two players to have a decent bit of stuff to work. Now we do see just a normal round to come in from Big Academy, slowly trying to close that gap. But the scary part is we've now seen 5 rounds on CT for Winstrike. against only 1 for Big Academy on their T side. So that's way too slow. That's not really the pace you want to have on the T side right here.
I think it's also, you know, pace is definitely... Big Academy is a team that I'd expect to play a bit slower now, but the problem is, if they do play slower, they have to be able to use it successfully, and that's not so much the case yet at this point. You see it, for example, with the utility usage, the molly usage from a few rounds ago, where there was a nice idea there, but the practice and the execution is not really quite what it should be.
Well, we do see that full buy come in from either side, yet the money situation from Winstrike, as we said before, is worrisome. They do have what it takes to win this round, but they need to get the kills in, not give Penix those 2 opening frags like he had in the previous round. Because, well, it seemed to go too easy. First the wallbang on towards Chris, and then the second one onto a player jumping by around that balcony area. And it's going to be Grimbo just hoping to get a kill in. Still just playing the passive game, hoping that there will be a mistake from Winstrike. 1 round, they will of course overextend, try to push there a little bit too much. And when that moment comes, Big Academy will get a kill, will get some B control, and I think it will be a very detrimental round for him.
Absolutely, but we'll see what they make out of it. So far it's still waiting and seeing if there's any chance. Big Academy could get those double digits if they really are successful enough, but it's tough. It's I do doubt it. I wonder what they're going to do now. Here is a good opening so far. It's a good opportunity. Can definitely actually be worked with. Could potentially even
another save.
Yeah.
It's the only reasonable thing to do. Like, Nickelback has money. It's a Lion who also has money. They can rebuy again. But if they go in, they can't. They have to go on an eco. So there's no reason to go for that aggression. Just try to play it slow. Play it's smart, and hope that there won't be a little bit of a chase coming in from Big Academy, because the chance of Marvin getting a kill is, well, actually pretty decent. There are 2 players holding this angle. They have to be able to get it down. With Grimbo stepping up, I think if he would have chased, I think he would have gotten all 3 kills. Easy ace.
Yeah, seriously.
Did you see those opening kills, man?
You believe in the power of Grimbo.
Of course.
Of course.
Meanwhile, we do see a kill coming in from Marvin right here. Just over-peeking a little bit, making Bondik unable to get the angle. That's just a classic. It's going to be a 12-10 scoreline. Winstrike doing really poorly after doing really well. He almost figured I'd say doing really well, but unfortunately they haven't been in the previous few rounds. 12-10, Big Academy on towards the double digits. And for a team that doesn't play Mirage, I'm quite amazed.
Yes, honestly, they're putting up a pretty good fight, but it's a bit two-sided. Winstrike had that 38% win rate on Mirage, and now I suppose that might be showing a little bit with how badly it's going, so to speak.
They're not closing it. It's something we've seen with a lot of teams. They're taking the lead, they're extending it, and now they have that open kill on Bondik, something they really need to get. But if they don't, well, it's going to be a very annoying period in time, as we do see Bondik being low. Luckily, 2 opening frags for them, as now Hades is also low, but Hades moves in with 1 frag of his own. Good return from Nickelback. The trading game needs to be superb from Winstrike to at least get another round on CT. Make it into a 13-10 lead. 1 taps almost coming in, but, well, not everyone can be Scream or his brother.
I was just going to say, they talk about my 1 taps, but not quite, because it doesn't really connect.
Oh, Lackey is actually standing in fire. Will go relatively low on towards 50 HP, or it could have actually been a wallbang, but luckily Marvin has now gone down. Only Penix alive, 1v4 with the AWP. Tries to deal some damage. Flashbangs coming in. He will get a kill onto Lackey, but, well, the turn is quickly. But what was Bondik doing? Penix was just moving up like, oh, hello? Is there a player
hello,
here?
I'm here. Do you mind?
I'm trying to get a kill, and suddenly he still gets one, despite all those utility things being used by Winstrike. It's now 13-10. At least they got another round win. Is there a buy possible from Big Academy? I think they are able to at least make something work. And it's actually a very good buy. Still having some reserves as well. AWP on towards Penix. And on the side of Winstrike, there is a double AWP. With their fingers crossed, they're hoping to get another round.
It's that double AWP you spoke of earlier. The question is, where are those AWPs going to go? difficult to see. We do have one here by Apartments. Lackey could definitely get one of the first.
Another one is in connector, I would dare to say. Looking at the positions, is the only logical position to play it. Is going to be Bonde close by with an M4. Of course, the Howl, because you have to have those cool skins if you're an old school player.
Well, yeah, obviously.
And he's throwing in the nades, dealing a little bit of damage on towards Anduin. But now he's waiting. He's waiting for the push, but the Academy is so spread out. Even if they get the kill here on towards the A side, what can they do with it? It's Grison now holding the angle, spraying down, but there's a player already moving towards the pillar area. They don't know, and someone is still on site, and they just have no clue. It's going to be Grimbo. First kill will be tagged up. It's going to be a turn towards the A side, I would imagine, because the bomb is already moving there.
Yep, it's in the meantime Alien, Anwin, and Panics can get the double frag there in the end, and that makes it a 2v4 now, and almost a certain save as well, I'd say. And it does kind of look like that as players are falling back, Prison as well. And with that, it's a valiant attempt from Winstrike, but not quite good enough. Down to the B apps hold, I suppose, or the B site hold that wasn't really strong enough over there. Even though they did end up not going for the A, or well, not going for the B site, but for the A site.
Yeah, Grimbo now, of course, on the chase. Will spot some bullets fly by as he does fall back. There is a decent reserve, but if you know that if you contest an angle, you will be shot, why would you? There's no chance risking it. It's less than a 50-50. It's going to be 30-70, with the 70 being in favor of your opponent. Marvin doesn't care, so there will be a flashbang. There will be some support. It's going to be Grison with one frag, but still a trade to come out as Lackey takes down Edwin instead. It will be another round for Big Academy, 13-11, and once more, the first map is really, really close, Robert Jan.
Well, yeah, it keeps going to and from as well, although in the beginning, Big Academy was quite a couple of rounds behind. Now they are catching up a little bit, and Winstrike does have the chance here. They could finish it off. They only need 3 more rounds for this map. It's doable, it's achievable, but at the same time, Big Academy could only, they could now play out a few more rounds, actually get it, and before you know it, they'll be on equal footing, and then, well, what do you know? They might actually win Mirage, and I do believe once they win Mirage, well,
we'll go to Nuke, and
we go to Nuke, and that's
got to be the turnaround.
Well, yes, because that is Big Academy's turf. Although, of course, their Nuke statistics aren't the best. 38% is better than 0% because maths.
Yeah, but like the good thing is that Big Academy has played Nuke a lot, so they're really
they should have learned something from it. Yeah, they should have learned from it.
If you're playing against better teams and you're still losing, it doesn't mean you're bad at the map. It might just mean that the other teams are better.
And that's definitely possible. The question is here where, well, how do I put it? Winstrike, they have the advantage. They have the better team, so to speak. You've got their HLTV ranking, which is higher, so to speak. Big Academy, they're a little bit behind. But still, it's a tight difference. I think this can still go either way, honestly.
Well, let's see what this round will bring to the table. We do see a double deagle to come out from the side of Winstrike. Not really the best buy to come in, but at least they'll try to make it work. A line missing his short jump, trying to move back. So far, luckily unscathed, but there's a very quick B-split coming down from Big Academy. Bolling with the first frag, and with a refrag as well. The pressure is on towards the B side. Still a player in apps. Will they know where he is? It's Grison standing close by, using utility, still stalling so much. And it's quite painful to see. Big Academy had a very good push from the get-go, but now Lackey dropping the bomb with his MP9 on towards Hades, losing Nickelback in the process, and also now Grison in towards the apps area. 3-2-2 situation. It's going to be panicked with the follow-up as well. This might actually be a round for Big Academy, as only Lackey is alive. Upgrades to the AK, but he's between a rock and a hard place and will be tapped out. Grimbo with the kill and, of course, the round, bringing the gap to only 1.
Smoothly done there, and indeed, as you put it, 1 round remaining for Big Academy to achieve the equalizer, something that is actually a very solid possibility, I dare say. I do believe that economy-wise, things aren't looking too, well, how do I put it? They aren't looking too favorable for Winstrike either. We can see in a moment what they're actually going to make out of it, and indeed you see a few upgraded pistols, and that's literally about it.
It's
really
something.
It's something, yes, but it's not quite a lot, It's not quite a lot to work with, so I do believe that Big Academy should win this quite easily. First opening pick is made by Crimbo, Nickelback taken out of the equation, and with that, Big Academy is already a little bit closer to a potential equalizer.
Yeah, normal utility just being put into play by the side of Big Academy. Moving up towards the side, there is a boost in CT. However, Marvin not paying attention, but will check it out after he almost gets killed out. Will be tagged up, but luckily Panics will also have a follow-up. Plant will come in soon, you dare to say, but did they forget? Oh, that bomb has also been planted. I've missed it completely. There's so much action going on.
Yeah, you don't worry, don't
I
worry.
need glasses as well.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Although I do recommend getting lenses nowadays because with the you know, if you have to wear a face mask, glasses aren't that nice.
That's very
unless
smart.
you like having steamy vision half the time. Do not recommend.
Makes you have a little bit of a sauna environment as we now see a Lion actually getting a great tap on towards Grim, but that's at least a little bit of damage done by the side of Winstrike, but it isn't too much. Another player might actually fall towards the bomb, and indeed Hades will fall. But still it's the equalizer, 13-13, and now we will see if Big Academy has it in them to win this map and possibly destroy Winstrike's win percentage even more, because while 38% isn't too great, and still it was Winstrike's map pick. And if Big Academy wins this, I think this could actually be a 2-0.
You do fully believe in Nuke being Big Academy's map, so to speak.
Yeah.
I think you've got a solid point there. Although I do believe at the same time that there's a very real chance that Winstrike now, for example, with a decent kit, actually comes back. Although they don't have any diffuse kits whatsoever, so to see, which is just a tiny bit disturbing. And you've got like glass cannon AWP on Alien, but still not the end of the world. They can work with it, and we can see what they make out of it. Although it doesn't start that well. Marvin is already started off. Frags are one of the Winstrike players, and they should be able to open up the A bombs. That should allow them to plant.
Nickelback, however, gets a kill in return as Marvin will fall. It's a refrag a little bit late, but then win now in the flank, possibly from Connector, will maybe get a kill here, but Lecky in time to turn. Panics with a follow-up, however. Nickelback now down as an answer, and we are back into a 3-on-3. Bomb not being planted at this moment in time. Still a player around that ladder area for the side of Big Academy. Could actually take out the player in the Connector, and indeed Grimbo will take down Lecky. Only a 3-on-2, but a Lion with the AWP, of course, also capable of fragging. And now we have equal numbers. Will we get a round in for Winstrike? It seems possible. A Lion with a refrag on towards the side of Panics. And now Grimbo is standing by, 1v1, doesn't have the bomb. If he had, he would have already gone towards B. But now he's just waiting for a Lion to make a mistake. But a Lion, of course, will get that clutch in, 14-13. And Winstrike once more with a round, but is it in time? Do they have the funds to get a round when a good buy-in? Because if they don't, Big Academy could bounce back quite well.
Interesting situation there. I was almost afraid that Alien actually went so aggressively there because it wasn't per se necessary. Of course, you know, you don't want to take the risk, but at the end of the day, it works out. Winstrike gets the 14th round, and who knows if they build up further on this. There's a real chance now. They have the opportunity to kind of reset Big Academy's economy. Once they reach that map point now, that would mean that Big Academy has quite a nasty buy to look up against in the potentially last round of this first map. But we'll see. It all depends. Alien does miss that aggressive attempt at a first pick, and now has to fall back onto the side, onto Connector, I should say.
So many flashes already coming down from Big Academy, using a lot of utility, trying to contest Lion, who has indeed fallen back towards Connector. The problem is they can't clear him out, and that means they're giving up mid-control towards Winstrike, which is a pivotal point in this map. And with Big Academy now trying to group up once more, they're trying to maybe get some mid-control, hoping there will be aggression, and Winstrike will go for the peak. No player in anti-flash. It's going to be, luckily, Panic standing by to get a refrag because the flash went a little bit too far for him. And that means we're on a 4-4. Big Academy, usually in a trade, always in a favorable position as the T side. But Winstrike so far is now still holding on, clinging on, possibly.
Clinging on, even like a koala.
Yeah, maybe a little bit like Mufasa.
Wow. Oh wow. Oh Lord. Why did you have to bring those memories back?
Traumatized. It's going to be Grism being tagged up slightly, still on side of FRS. Panic gets a frag onto Lecky. The trade comes in as Panic now goes down, but there will be a plant. A very good pickup from Grimbo as well, picking up that AWP from his fallen teammate. As Bonnick has already decided to go for the save. There is no economy on the side of Winstrike. They have to possibly bring this FAMAS to the next round and have at least some rifle going for him, even if it is a lower grade, but then he will upgrade to that AK. It's a little bit better, but still, it's not the round they were hoping for. It will be the equalizer for Big Academy and possibly even the follow-up to go for a map point.
Well, I'm so surprised how these two teams go to and from. It's, I suppose, to be expected because they are quite evenly matched in a certain sense. You have Winstrike with perhaps the better fragging potential, so to speak, but Big Academy with those at times better, well, tactics, I guess, better control of sites that they can utilize and actually grab. But who knows, maybe even, just imagine this, right, Chadwick?
All right.
Overtime.
Ooh.
The first one of the entire series, actually.
Well, I wouldn't mind overtime, but like the problem is Big Academy has seemed to be stronger, so rightfully they would deserve in this later stage of this map to win it. Winstrike had a very good start at the start of their CT side, but have now really slacked. And looking at this buy as well, there's a very big chance Big Academy could actually bring it to a 15th round. Now also Bondik standing by with his AK. Grimbo gets one frag, but the return will be there. Bondik under pressure will try to drop down, and he will. Unfortunate there for Winstrike. If Bondik had been contested later on, they could have actually recovered that AK as well, as Hades will get fragged on to Nickelback. There's a player close by, it's a Lion. He will get one kill, and Kristen also with a refrag brings it into a 2-on-2. And let's hope that Big Academy won't get ecoed, because if it happens, it's going to be a very painful situation to explain towards their manager as well. But the gamble from Winstrike was towards A.
It's so possible, right? Because like, just Winstrike started this round with what, upgraded pistols at best?
And one AK on Bondik, of course.
One hero AK and a few upgraded pistols. Not a situation where it should be this dramatic, but yet here we are. There is a bomb in the hands. At least they could get that.
RJ, why are they waiting so long?
The
best thing you can do playing against a team where you don't know if they have a defuse kit is get a bomb down. The timer will start ticking. What can they do? They have to go for a retake. And, well, so far they're just waiting, hoping there will be a mistake from Winstrike.
I suppose they could have been waiting for someone from Winstrike to potentially kind of fan out and check the rest of the...
They're still waiting, and look at how much intel Winstrike has gathered. They're already putting down a flank position. Because they know.
They're just toying with us.
They cleared the entire A side. Now they're just trying to flank around, and only just now the bomb has started ticking. Bondik is, of course, the only player with a defuse kit, is coming through that apps area, but now Panic has luckily gotten the first kill. Anyone with a follow-up, it's Big Academy now on map point on their opponent's map pick. So, fingers crossed, maybe this will be the round that Big Academy can actually win Mirage for once. But Winstrike, of course, won't have the shabbiest buy, ecoing in the last, hoping to pull it back right here.
I'd say that both teams have a real chance here of pulling it off, that both teams have a somewhat decent buy here that they can work off, but that lack of utility is always painful to see.
It's worrisome, especially the lack of defuse kit as well. If there will be an execute coming in from Big Academy that could actually come to haunt them, there will be a lot of pressure towards the short area from the side of Big. Also two players in the sides of A. So in ramp and in palace, will that mean a split push? Yes, it will mean it, but it's going to be aligned with the first frag. Will be a second as well. And where's your mid pressure now?
It's gone.
It's gone. There's only one more player, luckily, with the bomb not dropped in connector. And Grimbo is standing by, hoping he can get a kill right here. If he can't, it's going to be Winstrike, possibly indeed bringing it into overtime.
It all depends on Grimbo, or at least one of the Big Academy members getting a frag here to somewhat equalize the playing field again. But
preferably
right now,
two.
Preferably two, but let's start easy, right? We'll see. Right now, it's not looking too positive for Big Academy. They're two people down. Utilities flying in. Oh, make that two. And now this is almost a guaranteed frag. Yep, there it is. Make that a second. And Winstrike wins this round, which means we are going into overtime. The first overtime of the V.GG Legend Series. And with that, well, it does mean that things are going to be quite interesting. And it does mean that these two teams are quite evenly matched. And that means that we will be seeing quite some more exciting CS.
I'm curious to see who will be able to come back stronger, because like Winstrike is such a 50-50 for me. Big Academy really outbrained themselves in the rounds before, trying to not really plan that early. Of course, it worked out in the end, but still, it was so scary for us. I'm sweating. And Winstrike, well, they're banking on getting an opening kill. If they don't, they're in a world of trouble. We've seen it before. Like, luckily in this round, they were able to put down the pressure with the Lion getting 2 kills, a third one after as well. If they didn't, if that push would have gone towards the A side, if they would have pulled the trigger possibly a little bit earlier from both Ramp and Palace, I think it could have really gone the way of Big Academy. But, well, let's see what it will be in overtime. So far, it's going to be Crimbo, the best player on the side of Big Academy with, I believe, 28 kills so far. And maybe he can make it a 40.
Why
Depending
not,
on
right?
the overtimes, of course.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that plays out. This first overtime so far, it could go either way. Honestly, I'm having a hard time saying. It's once again, to reiterate, it's the kind of tactical advantage that Big Academy has, whereas Winstrike has that sheer power, that fragging skill at times that really comes to play. But we'll have to see who really comes out on top. I mean, in this overtime, it could just as easily go from 1 to perhaps a second, although let's see, perhaps scheduling-wise, hope that things get cleared out rather quickly. But we'll have to see. Honestly, are you willing to make a prediction now? Do you think this first map, who is going to take the upper hand in the overtime here?
I'm just worried. I'm worried that Big Academy will throw it away. Because they seem to be
the Big Academy choke, just like Big itself
They've
choked.
come back really well on this second half. They've done really well to get this far, but especially in this last round, they just lost it again. They're not putting down the pressure at the right time. They're overthinking it possibly. And, well, let's see if they can do it. Let's start into overtime. 15-15, of course, after the regular halves have been concluded. Winstrike continuing on their CT side. And, well, let's see what they can make of it. It's going to be the AWP, of course, on towards Lion, hoping to get another opening kill, possibly 2, with also Lackey now picking one up.
Let's see, it's the moment of truth. The first overtime that we're getting into, and a, well, rather slower play. There's not really any particular part being rushed to, some utility being thrown out. And now it might be Crimbo who's trying to get the first pick here. And for that, he would almost try to go through the smoke, although he ends up changing his mind by the looks of things.
Hades now popping the smoke and just biding his time as Nickelback is standing by. The player creeps across the smoke, but so far Nickelback knows that he can't really contest it anymore. Oh, the timing unlucky. Panic's just sneaking in with the AWP, looking over that smoke, getting the opening frag. And this is the scary part. Winstrike now a player down. How will they respond? Will they go aggressive? Well, there's an AWP peeking, pushing. He doesn't know himself either. It's Crimbo standing by, seeing the barrel, getting a free kill. But the Lion, in the meantime, takes down Hades as well as Kristen with a frag on the 2 Panics. It's going to be Crimbo, of course, the man to watch for the side of Big Academy. Maniac said it himself. He's going to get another kill. The bomb plant will be put into play as well. And we do see Marvin still on a flank position, making it into a 2-on-1 after being traded out himself. Bondik, well, you can go for it. You can try, but you know that so far with Crimbo still alive is going to be a very scary moment.
A scary moment perhaps, but let's see what he makes out of it. They are mainly looking towards market. Have that short position coming up now. Bondik's position has been given away, but can he actually connect? That's a good flash on him. That's definitely going to slow him down. The bomb is sticking further. I don't even think that he has the time anymore, does he?
No, he doesn't. He just tries to go for some kills. Maybe a little bit of an ego play, but he will lose his life. 16-15. Big Academy now win the first round here in overtime. No worries about money. They get 16k anyway at the start, and they're now trying to bring it all home. The more rounds they get here on the T side, the better it is, because there's been a slight favor for the CT so far. In regular,
so
8 to 7, it's not that much.
No, it's not really that much, but still, it's something to keep in mind, I suppose. You know, it could, in a way, you could say it could be worse. I think it still mainly comes down to the skill of the players, but it's something to keep in mind when the teams are a bit more evenly matched, which I dare say is definitely the case with this, where Winstrike is the better ranked team perhaps, but Big Academy seems the more finely honed team, the sharper team, and that is something that you can notice at times.
Not sure if Henwin is actually already expended all of his utility, because he's already out in such a quick moment. It's going to be Panics moving up with the AWP, going once more relatively aggressive, quite hunting with that AWP instead of just holding off angles so far. That's what you need on the D side, as we do see Bondik playing in shadow. There's a lot of utility now coming up, or at least you would expect a little bit more from Big Academy. And there are the flashes. Edwin with the first frag of the round takes down Bondik, will lose a teammate. However, it's Grimbo, the most important player so far from the German side. As Edwin wants to move up closer, there are too many flashes. A peek from CT, another flash is going to be Chris, and team flash by Lackey. Painful, as now it will be Edwin with a triple kill. He's going for more, but he's also falling back. He needs to go for the flank. He realizes. Still got some utility flying around, but there's a Molotov incendiary from Lion not being used. That could have actually cancelled the plan.
I suppose in the heat of the moment, it's the last thing that they... Oh, okay, that was a nice one,
Hoping
Lackey.
to go for the M4, but unfortunately the nades have blown them all away. Penix gets another kill on towards Lackey, is now aligned with a little bit HP, also hunted down by Marvin. 17 rounds for Big Academy, and they're getting relatively close, aren't they, RJ?
Absolutely. Who knows? If they now put down this T side with just all the rounds to them, there's a very real chance that they might just finish this off on the CT side of this overtime. Only one more round for them to win to have a perfect first half of this overtime. And with that, who knows, the opportunity to actually, well, gently get Winstrike and gradually as well, of course, out of the picture by winning the first map and then being able to pull it towards Nuke, of course, which is their map pick and which should, technically speaking, work a bit better for them.
Yeah, but we're speaking technically. And we've seen so far from both teams picking a map they have a 38% win chance on, which... It makes so little sense in your mind, but it seems like those are the maps they are most comfortable on. Winstrike not playing bad at all, but they're just leaving too many holes in their defense right now for Big Academy to exploit. And as the flashes are moving in, as the damage is now going down on towards Hades, it's going to be Marvin actually with the first frag onto Nickelback, brings it into a 5-on-4 in Crimbo. He's standing by. He knows that the moment they get a kill, someone is usually on the offensive from the side of the B-Apps. Penix now also a kill onto Lackey that could even prompt another push coming in from Chris. And he's still standing by on the balcony, and now he will actually drop down a little bit. He will go for the peak. Another fight, one for the side of Big Academy. A 4-on-2 situation, and it seems to fall apart. Winstrike is not doing too well right here in overtime, as only a Lion is left with Bondik. And Bondik is already tagged up quite heavily.
Alien does have a good... That was a 200 IQ wallbang there. There's not much more I can say against that. But the problem is that Big Academy now has the advantage of time. Alien is in a bit of a nasty position. It's all going to come down to Bondik there. But look at that. Marvin was ready, was waiting, and he was just completely anticipating. With that, Big Academy makes a perfect first half of this first overtime, and there's a very real chance now that in the next half, unless Winstrike, of course, turn it around and put down a perfect T-side themselves, that Big Academy should have this map, the first map, Mirage, which is, of course, important to highlight once again, Winstrike's map pick, not Big Academy's map pick.
Well, only one more round is needed. I'm feeling a little bit big at this moment in time. Let's hope they can actually bring it home
You're feeling big?
Yeah, I'm feeling big.
Are you sure that's not the dinner? Just like...
Oh, no. That's already gone way down. It's not really a factor anymore. But, well, I'm hoping for them they can now actually clear it out, not choke it out. Because I've seen them choke a little bit so far. They've made some silly mistakes. They're overthinking.
You do have a couple of teams that are known for choking, and I would say that Big at times has, you know, they have a bit of a...
Hey, if you're an academy, you have to do it like the big boys, right?
Yeah. But why did you choke Big Academy? Well, if Big did it, aren't we supposed to do it as well?
We've learned from their mistakes.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not. This is the moment of truth. It's time to see, is the CT side going to go bad Vendetta? It's all going to come down to the opening frags as well. And it doesn't start off that well, because Panix gets tagged quite severely by, I believe, the Molly, but also perhaps a nade that was thrown at Connector there. Correct me if I'm wrong?
No, I think you're right. Don't worry. It's going to be Edwin moving up towards the ladder now, actually in an angle possibly to contest the Winstrike members. They're close underneath the window, usually going for a boost, and indeed the boost has come through. The timing is impeccable from Edwin, takes out Nickelback the moment he peeks away, but also wants to look back. And now we see a Molly coming in. Oh, that smoke is almost painful, but at least it worked out in the end. It's a 5-4 situation, damage being dealt by Winstrike, but the kills, they are lacking. And with a match point against them, or at least a map point, we have to say, it's going to be a very good situation here for Big Academy. Good angle being held by Crimbo, possibly getting a player who will pop up soon. And indeed, it's a second frag coming in. Incendiary now also to slow down, and well, the bomb is just standing there. They have to commit here. 40 seconds left, little to no utility. And what can they do on the side of Winstrike as another smoke will be thrown in?
Well, that is super for delaying it, though. And Crimbo now takes up a bit of a different angle. And the moment he sees anyone popping through here, he should get the frag. Now the question is it going to start off? Is Crimbo going to take this round and take the first map win for Big Academy? In a moment we will see, because that timer is ticking down and with only 20 seconds remaining. Look at that. Crimbo actually gets the frag somewhat through the smoke, I'd almost say, but it was just in the nick of time. Anwin gets the potentially second to last one. Only one player remaining. Oh, Crimbo is going for the jump. No? Okay, Bondik, are you going to clutch this?
There is
Ace?
no time for Bondik. There's only 2 seconds left. He will go down. Marvin with the final frag. And with a 19-15 scoreline, Big Academy actually win the map of their opponents. A very strong showing, a surprising showing as well. Even
Absolutely.
Maniac will be slightly surprised, but I think they will be fair.